General form looks pretty, kind of useless. So that's about it. It's, I don't know. It's like, you look nice, but you're like, don't have like any function in life, and you're actually not applying yourself, right? We can't, because you do need to know how to make an equation in general form, unfortunately, make it look pretty, but you also need to be able to take it out of general form. Take it out of like the pretty form and put it into a useful form. What is a useful form? What form do we know about already? Y equals mx plus b. So we're going to be able to take it out of general form and put it into slope-intercept form. Because slope-intercept form is useful, right? I think it's pretty too, but it's actually got function. I can see the slope, I can see the y-intercept, I can plot the graph really easily. Looking at general form doesn't tell you anything about the graph, A, B, or C. Well, it tells you a little bit, but not really anything, okay? It sounds awful, but it's true. There's my honest feelings about general form. You don't think it's pretty?
No, I don't.
Okay, so general form looks like ax plus by plus c, okay, where a, b, and c are integers, and a is positive. You can cross off usually is positive. So, what type of numbers are integers? Give me an example of your integers. Positive and negative whole numbers. That means it does not include no decimals and no fractions. Yes, they really are. Well, you won't have that anyways. Okay, so how do I make this in general form? With general form, one side always equals to 0. If you look at this, ax plus by plus c equals 0, we want everything on one side. So, what's wrong with a?
It's not in that form.
It's not in that form. It doesn't equal 0. So we need to move the y to the other side. How do I move something? Opposite. I want to make it 0. How do I make y 0? Not multiply it. Not divide it. Subtract it. If I take away y, will that equal 0? Yes. So we're going to take away y to both sides. We're going to move it to the other side by subtracting it. 0 equals, we always write x first, then the constant, no, sorry, x, then y, then the constant. So 5x minus y minus 8. Is that general form? Yes. Are they all integers? Yep. Everything's on one side? Yep. And is a positive? Is the coefficient of x positive? Yes. Okay, those are the three conditions. So next guy. First step is always moving your y over. Okay? So, well, I guess you could either move your y over or you can get rid of the fraction first. Doesn't matter which one you do first. So what do you want to do? Subtract y. Okay? Subtract y. So we have 0 equals 2/3 x minus y plus 7. Okay, something's wrong with this. It has a fraction. So in order to get rid of the fraction, multiply everybody by 3, the denominator. Okay, we're going to multiply everybody by 3. Everybody. Everyone, you get a 3, you get a 3. I know. Good old, you're like trying to figure out who it's from. Oh, you know. Good old Oprah. Wish I was there and got a car. 3 times 0 is still 0. 3 times 2/3 x. No. 6 over 3 or? 6 over 3 is? 2. Just 2. The 3's cancel out. That's why we multiplied by 3, so the 3's would cancel. That's right? So it's 2. 6 over 3 is 2. 2x minus 3y plus 21. Everybody gets a 3. Okay, so first step with this guy. Yeah. Oh, right now? For this C one? We'll worry about it last. Worry about your A values, the sign of it, last. We'll just switch all our signs. Divide by -1 or times by -1. So that will be our last step. We'll first either get rid of the fraction first, or we can get rid or move it all to one side first. Okay, move it all to one side. Subtract y. Okay, 0 equals -1 over 4x minus y plus 0.5. Okay, let's get rid of the fraction next. We'll worry about the sign of a last. Okay, we want to get rid of all fractions. So looking at 4 and 5, what would I multiply everything by to get rid of the 4 and the 5? 20, the lowest common multiple. So we're going to multiply everybody by 20. 20, 20, 20, 20. Everybody, let's multiply by 20. Okay? 20 times 0. 0. Should I make this larger? I feel like I should make it larger. Even just 200 is good. 0. 20 times -1/4. -5. You can type that in your calculator, or 20 divided by 4. -5. Okay? We'll worry about the sign last. 20 times -y. -20y plus, okay, you can type it in your calculator if you want, 20 times 3 over 5. 12. Because 20 divided by 5 is what? 4 times 3? 12. Okay, so here's a problem. A is not a negative. The other guys can be negative, just not the coefficient of x. So what we're going to do is just switch all our signs. Divide everybody or multiply everybody by -1. So if we multiply everybody by -1, we're multiplying, multiplying. It just switches all the signs. That's all we're doing. It's almost like we're going to move everything to the left side of the equation instead. You can think of it that way. Add 5x over, add 20y over, subtract 12. Okay, so our equation is 0 equals 5x plus 20y minus 12. Or just switch our signs at the end. Now it's a general form. Pretty? Yeah. Yeah. It is. Okay, so how do we go back? How do we go the other way? Because usually it's in general form, and we want to take it out because we want it useful. We want to be able to see our slope and y-intercept. Just by looking at that, I can't tell you what my slope and y-intercept is unless I make it y equals mx plus b. So it's a lot easier. If I want to make this, if I want to see my slope and my y-intercept, I need y equals mx plus b. I need y by itself. So what am I going to do first? Let's get y by itself. Okay, so we can move the 2x and the 25 over to the other side, or we can move the y over. Let's do one thing instead of two things. So add how many y's? Add 5y. So move the y over, back to the other side. So 5y. 2x plus 25 equals 5y. And our last step, divide everything by 5. We've already been doing this, haven't we? A little bit. So our equation, plus 5 equals y. And y can be on the other side. It doesn't really matter. Usually the left, but yeah.
So when you take and subtract, or sorry, you add 5y to each side.
Yeah.
When you're rewriting, you're going to lose 6, or I guess
Mhm.
would you then keep 5y inside of 0 and
You can rewrite it. You could write 5y. You can write it the other way. Yeah, it's the same thing. Naturally, that's like looks better, right? Because that's more. Oops. That's the way we're used. Y. It's usually y equals, right? Yeah. So like this guy, what are we gonna do first? Minus 2y. So you could write it, instead of writing 6x minus 15 on the left and negative 2y on the right, could we just write negative 2y equals 6x minus 15? That's what she was asking. Yeah, because we like y on the left. Doesn't matter which side it's on. Last step. Divide by negative 2. So we have y equals negative, good. So when you have two negatives, remember it makes it a positive. 15 over 2 becomes a positive 15 over 2. There's two negatives there. And 6 divided by negative 2 is negative 3. All right. Should we do this one? Yeah, let's do it. The lines 3x minus 4y plus 8 equals 0, and 5x minus 6y 5x minus ky minus 6 equals 0 have the same y-intercept. So in order to see the y-intercepts, what form does it have to be in? Y equals mx plus b. So I would like you to start and make this first equation in y equals mx plus b. If you finish early and are feeling brave, make the other equation in y equals mx plus b as well. Get y by itself. Okay? So you should have had 3x plus 8 equals 4y. And then divide everything by 4. So 3 over 4x plus 2, because 8 divided by 4. We divide everybody by 4. Okay, that's the first one. Second guy. This is where it gets a little bit more interesting. Add ky to the other side. So I have 5x minus 6 equals ky. Then divide everybody by k. All right. So they tell us what about these two lines? Same y-intercept. What's the y-intercept of this line here? 2. What's the y-intercept here? No. Well, yes, which also is equal to negative 6 divided by k. Okay? A lot of k's going on. So it'd have to be not 3. If 2 equals negative 6 over k. Negative 3. K has to equal negative 3. Right? K has to equal negative 3. Because a negative divided by a negative would make a positive. You're close. Right? 6 divided by negative. If this is supposed to be a 2, positive 2, has to be negative, K has to be negative 3. They have the same y-intercept, and you know that this should be plus 2. Okay? All right, turn the page. A couple more and we're done. Not bad for 2 lessons in one day. It's hard on the head, but you'll have a whole block to work tomorrow. So it'll be worth it. Yep. Oh, I don't want to do 4 really, but. Well, no, you have to. Okay, let's do it. It says which of the following lines is perpendicular to 4x minus 2y plus 9? What word should you think about when you hear the word perpendicular? Slope. And in order to see slope, what y equals mx plus b. So this should be your thought pattern. Okay? In order to see slope, I need slope-intercept form. So in order to know the slope of that line, let's first make it, yeah, slope-intercept. Yeah, I gotcha. Okay, I'm picking up what you're putting down. First step, remember, general form's always useless. Put it into y equals mx plus b automatically. Plus 2y. Okay? Which gives me 4x plus 9 equals 2y. Then divide everything by 2. So y equals 2x plus 9 over 2 or 4.5. So people are asking me, can I write 4.5? You can write a decimal only if it's terminating. If it's repeating, it has to be a fraction. In my opinion, just leave it as a fraction. I always like fractions better. That's my preference. Okay? If you wrote 4.5, will I dock you marks? Not in this case, no, it's a terminating decimal. Okay, so what's the slope of this line? 2, not 2x. If we want an equation that's perpendicular, we're looking for a slope that is close, negative, not 2, 1 over 2, reciprocal. Opposite sign. We need to find one that's going to be negative 1 over 2. Okay, so what we need to do is make each one of these in general form. So the very first one, I'm going to subtract 3y, right? And then divide everything by close, negative 3, okay? Does this give me a slope of negative 1/2 just by looking at this? What's the slope going to be? 6 divided by negative 3 is negative 2x plus 1/3. Is this one perpendicular? No. Okay, we're looking for negative 1/2 because our slope was 2, not perpendicular. Second guy. Okay, try the second guy, find out if it's perpendicular. We'll skip the third. Okay, make it y equals mx plus b. Tell me if it's perpendicular. Gretch put this. So 2 is perpendicular. If you want to try 3, it is also perpendicular. It'll also give you a slope of negative 1/2. I'd like you to give this a shot. Okay? Whenever you see general form, what should you automatically do? Change it every time. See that? You don't even have to read the question. Make them y equals mx plus b, and then you could read the question. Okay? Because you know it's useless. Change it. So if you don't know what to do, just start by changing both of them, and then see if you can figure it out. Okay? So try 5, and then we can call it a lesson. Start by making sure that your equations are the same. So the one that it's perpendicular to, you should have had y equals negative 2 over 5x plus 7 over 5. Okay? Okay. Equation that it is the same y-intercept as. Be very careful here. Because you subtract y to the other side, you're left with, yes, negative y equals 2x minus 6. So you have to divide everything by negative 1. We don't want negative y, we want y. So you should have had negative 2x plus 6 for that equation. Okay, so our line, what will be the slope if we're perpendicular to the first line? Positive or negative? Positive 5 over 2. Okay, so that's our slope. What would be our y-intercept? 6. So your equation, there's two answers. We want it in slope-intercept form and then in general form. So you should have had 5 over 2x plus 6. This is one of your answers. If you had that, good job. Okay, now in general form. How do I make that general form? First step, subtract the y. So 0 equals 5 over 2x minus y plus 6. And then multiply everybody by 2. So you get 0 equals 5x minus 2y plus 12. This is the other answer. That's the general form answer. Both of those is what you wanted. Okay? Good? Tough? Or manageable if you practice? Right? Okay, we're not going to do example 6. You can do it if you want to. But I'm going to leave it there. Let's circle what is the assignment for this guy. So, where did it go? Here it is. Page 573. Ready? A, number 1A, B, D, F. Please, everybody circle this in your workbooks. So then when I'm checking your work, it makes it easier on me. 2A, C, and E. Ah! Where'd you go? 2A, C, E. 3A, C. Turn the page. No 4. You can try 5 and 6. 7.
What?
Oh, wait. No 7. Thank you. Glad somebody else is looking. They're like, don't give me more homework than I need. You got it. 9. Thank you. So no 8. At 10, 12, 15, and 16. There's a hall pass. Yeah, this one right now. Okay, see rat. You took a little too long yesterday, so don't get lost today. Okay.
Oh, it's Charlie. On a couple of the lower questions, there's numbers with stars next to them. Are those optional?
Yeah. Yeah.
That's what we had to do as well.